Watching these playoffs without LeBron James for the first time since 2005, you realize how much of a gap there is, or at least there was, between LeBron James and the next best player. Both Kawhi and KD had all-time great playoff runs worthy of the hype they received, but watching both of their epic performances throughout these playoffs, it allowed me to appreciate what LeBron accomplished during the 2018 playoffs even more. Since he missed the playoffs this year, we forget, as most people now drop LeBron to somewhere in the top 5 players in the league. Ever since 2016, the world has been jumping at every opportunity to crown someone as the next best player in the world. It started with Steph's unanimous MVP season, where you had guys like Stephen A. Smith crowning Steph as the undisputed best player in the world a month into the NBA season. Then the year after that, KD joins the 73-9 Warriors, they beat LeBron in back-to-back finals, and now he's the best player in the world. To start the 2019 playoffs, KD averaged 32 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists on 51, 44, 90 splits through 12 games, and received this reaction from Stephen A. after the first round where they beat the 8-seeded Clippers.
Is Kevin Durant the best player on the planet?
I believe he is. I believe that right now he is. When we acknowledge what he does defensively, that was really the only thing missing back in the day. When you look at the offensive arsenal, you can't. It depends on what your preference is. Obviously, you look at little LeBron and you think about 260 pounds and the kind of effect that he can have. But from a skill perspective, tell me who has Kevin Durant's arsenal?
Kawhi averaging 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists on 49, 38, and 88 splits received this reaction from Max Kellerman.
Let me explain. This is real easy. Here's the big picture. Kawhi Leonard is proving right now that the rankings of the constellation of stars in the basketball universe is rearranging. Kawhi 1, LeBron 2.
This jumping the gun to crown a player better than LeBron James, coupled with LeBron obviously not making the playoffs, inspired me to rewind to LeBron's historic run last season and give some context to the comparison between him, KD, and Kawhi this season. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming off a regular season filled with drama, trades, injuries, and LeBron having to play with 30 different starting lineups and basically 3 different rosters throughout the year, the Cleveland Cavaliers somehow finished the season with 50 wins and a 4th seed heading into the Eastern Conference playoffs. The narrative this time was that the Raptors and Sixers, who entered the playoffs on a 16-game winning streak, were the favorites to get out of the East. With no Kyrie, an aging and lackluster roster, it seemed like this would be the year LeBron's final streak ends, and we'd get fresh blood in the finals. But the Cavs made a miracle run to their 4th consecutive NBA Finals to lose in 4 games to the Golden State Warriors. Through 22 playoff games, LeBron averaged 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists on 54% from the field, 34% from 3, and 75% from the line. Now these stats, though impressive, don't tell the whole story. In order to understand how impressive this finals run was, you need to understand how trash this roster was. Y'all might be thinking he had Kevin Love, who by name is an all-star, but by production in the playoffs was a glorified role player who couldn't move his feet on defense. In the 21 playoff games Love played, he averaged 15 points and 10 rebounds on 39% shooting. 39% for a big man. Nobody else on the roster cracked double digits as J.R. Smith averaged 9 points on 34% from the field, including 8 games with 5 points or less, and 3 games in which the Cavs starting shooting guard registered 0 points. Jordan Clarkson shot 30%, Jeff Green shot 41%, Rodney Hood shot 42%, as the biggest downfall of this Cavs team was the lack of consistent offense outside of LeBron. If you ignore LeBron's box plus minus of 14 and Larry Nance's of 4.9, every other Cavalier had a negative BPM, while nobody outside of LeBron provided a value over replacement player over 0.5. He was forced to play make for himself and others, as nobody else was capable or willing to create their own shot. The first round series versus the 5th-seeded Pacers went the distance, as the Cavs snuck away a 4-point victory in Game 7, in which LeBron put up a light 45 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists to close out Indiana. But in the pivotal Game 5, with the series tied 2-2, LeBron not only put up 44 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, he secured the game-saving block on Oladipo, and he did this on the other end.
3 seconds left. Cleveland triggers in. James, 2 seconds. 1 second for the win. LeBron James delivers. That's a winner in Cleveland.
If the Pacers managed to steal this win and go back home to Indy for a closeout Game 6, we could be sitting here with LeBron being bounced in the first round for the first time in his career. But instead, they won in 7 games, with LeBron averaging his usual 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, with 3 40-point explosions within this series. In the second round, the Cavs ran into the 59-win first-seeded Toronto Raptors, who they've dominated in the past, but this year without Kyrie Irving. Like I said earlier, the Raptors were favored to beat the Cavs and make the finals due to their new offensive system and a deep bench. The general consensus was that the Raptors were too deep for the Cavs, had home court advantage, and they would win between 5 to 7 games. But the Raptors got swept, and LeBron was dominating. In the 4-game sweep, LeBron averaged 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. In Game 2, LeBron recorded 43 points and 14 assists and 8 rebounds, but that's not the crazy part. By the second half, LeBron was toying with the Raptors' defense by attempting shots I've rarely seen him attempt in NBA games. Check this out.
I told you, it took him 2 shots to make the shot from the tunnel.
Oh, LeBron!
Oh, boy.
That thing was in the air so long, it should have had a movie on it. He is in full rhythm right now, backing down Lowry. Heat check. Still sizzling.
When you post him up and you're not going to double team him, come on, he's going to have his way here.
LeBron fades away over Siakam. He's hotter than fish grease. LeBron coming off the Thompson screen. Fade away. LeBron backing down DeRozan. There's that fade away, and it's butter. Clock for LeBron James.
Hold on.
We're speechless, Hubie Brown.
No.
That was incredible.
After sweeping both games in Toronto, LeBron did this to go up 3-0, and thus LeBronto was born.
Here it is. See, it's under 3 seconds to go. Throws up the floater. Golf class. Good night, Cleveland. That is for you.
In the conference finals, the Cavs ran into the young and hungry Boston Celtics without their 2 all-stars, Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. Looking back, you might think that this would have been an easy win for the Cavs, but the Celtics' young core of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart, coupled with veterans like Al Horford and Marcus Morris, were on their own Cinderella run to the finals. They defeated Giannis and the Bucks in 7 games, then upset and straight up embarrassed the red-hot Sixers in 5 games. Tatum, Brown, and Rozier were looking like future stars, and Al Horford was playing the best basketball of his career. In Game 1, fatigue caught up to LeBron as he finished with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, with a negative 32 plus minus in 36 minutes during a 25-point loss. In Game 2, LeBron came out gunning with 21 points in the first quarter and finished with a 42-point triple-double. Kevin Love put up 22 and 15, and Kyle Korver scored 11 points, but the Cavs still lost. At this point, it was looking like the series would be over in 4, as the Celtics went up 2-0, and historically are 32-0 as a franchise when up 2-0 in a best-of-7 series. In Game 3, the Celtics core didn't show up to play on the road, an issue affecting them throughout their playoff run, as all 5 Cavs starters scored in double digits, with LeBron leading the way with 27 points and 12 assists in a 30-point blowout victory for Cleveland. In Game 4, LeBron exploded for 44 points to tie the series up at 2 apiece heading back to Boston, in which the Celtics ran the aging Cavs off the floor to go up 3-2. With their backs against the wall in a closeout Game 6, the Cavs supporting cast stepped up as George Hill added 20 points, Jeff Green added 14 points, and Larry Nance added 10 points. LeBron scored 46 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists, including back-to-back dagger threes over Jason Tatum to force a Game 7. Check it out.
It's James. James drives, steps back, puts up a 3. Bang! LeBron James from downtown. James, his 7th 40-point game of these playoffs. Steps, tries it again, puts it in! As the shot clock expires, LeBron James with 44! Timeout Boston!
But what flies under the radar was that Kevin Love was injured 5 minutes into Game 6 and was ruled out for Game 7. With the finals berth on the line, the crowd was ready. In a back-and-forth game, it came down to the final 6 minutes in which Jason Tatum yammed it on LeBron's head.
7 points with 6:45 remaining. Tatum drives.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Drives down and throws it down! Wow!
And hit a 3 on back-to-back possessions to steal momentum down the stretch. LeBron then scored 7 of his 12 fourth-quarter points after that dunk and stare down, including an and-one layup on the fast break through Marcus Morris to seal the game. LeBron finished with 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists in a game in which he played all 48 minutes to secure his 8th consecutive finals appearance. We all know what went down from here as the Cavs were heavy underdogs versus the Warriors, but they almost stole Game 1 behind LeBron's 51-8-8. If it wasn't for a controversial charge reversal, a missed free throw by George Hill, and this by who else but J.R. Smith, the Cavs could have went up 1-0 and they probably would have lost in 5 instead of 4. What makes this the greatest individual playoff run in NBA history is the load that LeBron had to carry due to the lack of talent on the roster and half of the squad being traded for at the deadline. There wasn't much time to measure the squad heading into the playoffs, and somehow, some way, they made it to the finals over Toronto, Philly, and Boston, 3 teams that were definitely more talented. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know if I'm riding LeBron or not in the comments, and if you think any other player in the league could have carried that Cavs team to the finals, let me know as well. Follow my Instagram and Twitter at Eddie23, and y'all have a blessed day.
Hill misses. Rebound goes to the Cavs. J.R. Smith brings it back out. Throws it to Hill. Hill shot blocked. And we'll go to overtime. You get the feeling J.R. Smith thought they had the lead. He didn't know the score.
I think exactly. That's a bad mistake by J.R. Smith.
And LeBron James was trying to get a timeout.
And LeBron James is wide open.